Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Welcome back, Mr. Secretary. I'd like to submit, lastly, for the record, a letter to President Obama requesting that the administration consider giving those at Camp Liberty in Iraq the opportunity to receive political refugee status for those who are eligible.
A couple of issues. First is the Camp Ashraf, and you've got our friends here in their yellow jackets. It is very clear that their group in Iraq have been attacked and murdered in great numbers and on several occasions, and that the current government of Iraq is either in collusion with these murderers or at least they're turning their back and letting this happen. I have a piece of legislation, H.R. 3707, which would grant asylum to these people at Camp Ashraf who are obviously in danger. Is the administration supporting this concept and this legislation?
Congressman, let me just say, first of all, there's one solution to the problem of what is now Camp Perea, formerly Ashraf, and the answer is, and I've been concerned about it since I was a senator, we need to relocate those folks.
My legislation says relocate them here. Why not?
We are looking.
They're in danger.
That's one of the things we're looking at. We've managed. I've appointed a special envoy / advisor with respect to this. He's a very competent counsel from here in Washington. He's been working on it full time.
We need to get on this, Mr.
That's
Secretary,
exactly what we're doing. And
before more of them are died.
We have 210 who are now being transferred to Albania. We have another about 100 going to Germany.
Okay.
And we are now looking at the process here internally. We're working with UNAMI, with UNHCR, the government of Iraq, other relevant authorities. But right now, the White House, Department of Homeland Security, and other relevant agencies are looking at how many we might be able to take
I would
ourselves.
hope that within 30 days, if all these things that you've talked about have not come to fruition, that we decide to act and bring them here so that at least they'll be safe. Otherwise, the blood of these murdered innocent people are on our hands.
We'll go now to Mr. Ted Poe of Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I'm concerned about a lot of things in 3 minutes. I'm going to try to get a couple of them and let you have the rest of the time to answer. When you were here in April last year, since you were here then, I talked to ask you questions about it, then again in December. There have been 62 members of the MEK in Iraq that have been murdered. And then on the MEK, when is the State Department going to make a decision to allow members of the MEK that are stuck in Iraq to come to the United States? When will that decision be made? Those are my two questions.
Well, that decision is under review right now. As I said earlier, you may not have been here. You may
I know what you said earlier, that it's under review, but when are you going to decide to make the decision to either allow them to come in or not come in?
Homeland Security and the White House and other agencies, Justice, for instance, are engaged in an analysis of whether or not that can be done based on our judgments with respect to how many and whether it works. So,
are you going to require or not they renounce their membership in the MEK as a condition, precondition?
I don't know the answer to that yet.
Okay.
I think the key is to make certain that we're following the standards and procedures by which people are admitted to the United States, and that takes some vetting and so forth. Now, there are urgent circumstances here, and I've acknowledged those. Their safety is at risk, no question about it. And we want to move them out of Iraq as rapidly as possible. That's one of the reasons why I've appointed somebody full-time to be working on this. We've gone to a number of countries, and frankly, I'm very upfront about it. One of the reasons we're urgently now reviewing this is people sort of say, well, how many are you taking? And that's an appropriate question to ask, and it deserves an answer.